Hi everybody, today I wanted to share you the breakfast that I make week after week after week, and I never get tired of eating it. It is my baked oatmeal, and the good thing about this recipe is you can really customize it, have all sorts of different flavors. Some of my favorites are Haskap white chocolate, peanut butter cocoa, or peanut butter chocolate, chunky monkey, so bananas with walnuts and chocolate chips. And I bake it in this dish. I portion it in 6 servings, and then I have it every day for the next 6 days. And then I just make it again and again and again, and I just alternate the flavors. And that's why I have an easy breakfast every morning. And I do this mostly because I have a new baby, and I don't really have time to make breakfast every morning when I'm with her. So I just do this, and it's a no-brainer. I don't have to wake up, think, oh, what am I gonna eat today? What's gonna fill me up until lunch? And this does the trick. So let's get started. I will leave all of the ingredients in the caption below with the quantities, how to make it, and some different flavor suggestions, as well as the nutritionals for 1 serving. And the way I do it is I just get 1 big bowl and I dump everything in, and then I pour it into my dish, put it in the oven, forget about it for the next hour or so, and then it's ready. So we'll get started by preheating the oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. So that when we are done making it, we can just put it in the oven. And I started making this by just thinking like, okay, if I was to make a bowl of oatmeal, what would I put? And then I just scaled it to 6 servings, so everything times 6. But to make it a cake-like baked oatmeal, you do have to add some eggs, more milk, because everything dries up in the oven. So I've adjusted a few things, and depending on the flavor, you have to keep adjusting it. So let's just put everything in here, and I'll keep the quantities in the comments. We'll add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a bit more. So 6 1/4 cup of quick oats. Then I have here some rolled oats. I just like to add a little bit of this just for some extra texture and fiber. Where's my, oh, here. I'm also trying to see which style I like the most of making these recipes. If I have like ingredients pre-portioned and then I just throw everything in and then you see that, or if I just bring everything out of my pantry and then do it with you, just so that I don't have to waste time prior to starting the video to like assemble every ingredient beforehand. Also less dishes this way. Okay, so then we added our oats. We're also gonna add some protein. So here I have some collagen powder. You could add whey powder, flavored or unflavored. I like collagen because it's neutral. It has no flavor, and it adds some extra protein. So I add 6 scoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the reason I do that is, like I said, for the extra protein, because oatmeal is not something that has a lot of protein. So I find that if you add protein, it will make you fuller for longer. Okay, so we're just gonna give this a little mix. And then we are gonna start adding our nuts and seeds. Depending on the flavor, I add different nuts. So if I'm making chunky monkey, I'll add walnuts. If I'm making like a pistachio raspberry flavor, I'll add a pistachio butter as well as some chopped pistachios. But today I am making a Haskap white chocolate. Haskap is like a blueberry that grows here in the north, and it's delicious. So I had some freeze-dried, so I'm just hydrating it here in some boiling water. Then we'll drain that after. Okay, so we're gonna add some sunflower seeds. And this one I just eyeball it. And then we're gonna add some hemp hearts. Hemp hearts adds a lot of good fats as well as some extra protein. And then same for sunflower seeds, and sunflower seeds are pretty cheap. They're very cost effective. They're one of the cheapest seeds you can buy. So I buy organic sunflower seeds because they are cheaper. And then I'm gonna add a couple handfuls of walnuts. So they usually say that every day. When I was studying in Spain, I learned a lot about the health benefits of nuts, and they eat a lot of nuts in Spain. So they say that you should eat about a handful every day of nuts. And the healthiest nut that you can possibly eat with the healthiest fat profile is walnuts. So I like to add two handfuls, and then I just ground it like that. No need to dirty a cutting board or knife. I like some texture in my oatmeal, so we did 2, now 3, 4. So this is 4 handfuls. And then we're gonna do 2 more. So 6 total because we have 6 servings. And here you can add any nut of your liking. You can add macadamia nut. You can add almonds. You could add, okay, here's 2 more. You could add pecans. Really, the options are endless. And if you have like any super big chunks like this, you can just go ahead and break it again and break it. And the cool thing about when you do it by hand is you can see how many like fats are in these nuts because your hands get kind of like sticky. And those are good fats. Okay, so we're gonna put that aside. We're gonna give it another mix. And now we're gonna start with our liquids. So let me put this aside. We're gonna do 3 eggs. Let me open my garbage over here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 3 eggs. I'm gonna wash my hands really quickly. Okay, and we're gonna do 1 cup of milk. I also like to buy this high protein milk to add extra protein to my oatmeal, and we'll do a whole cup like this. Okay. We will do 6 tablespoons of maple syrup. So if you were doing like 1 portion, it'd be like 1 tablespoon. And I do this here because I know it's approximately a 1/4 cup. So I just don't want to dirty another dish. So we'll do like that. And if I want it extra sweet, I just add it a little bit more. But we're gonna add some white chocolate chips, so I'm not gonna add too much of this. Well, just a little bit more, like that. Okay, now we're gonna mix everything here. And I'll show you the consistency in a little bit. Okay. Now we're gonna add our fruit. Hold on, need a spoon. Okay, so I always like to add fruit because it makes it for a more balanced breakfast. There's a little bit of, I don't like this one. Okay, this is my hydrated Hascap, so I'm just straining it from the liquid. And here, if I was making like a blueberry white chocolate, I would just add frozen blueberries or any frozen fruit that I had on hand. If I was doing a chunky monkey, like a banana flavored one, I'd add a mashed banana in here. And you get the idea. Okay, I think I got all of our berries. Okay, and then I like to add a little bit of this juice. Just add some color. And then I'm gonna mix it again. And then I'm gonna show you how it looks. This is what it looks like. Then we're gonna keep mixing it until it's all combined. Okay, so now we are going to oil our dish here so that it doesn't stick too much once it's baking. All right. I like to use avocado oil because it has some good fats as well, and I don't particularly like avocado, so this is the only way that I'll eat it. Okay. And then I have a little silicone brush that I just use it to brush the sides. Right there, right here. Here. All right. Okay, let me put it there. And okay, so now we're gonna add some white chocolate. I like to add just a handful like this, and then I'll add more on top. And to make this more cakey, we're gonna add some baking powder and baking soda. So we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of baking powder, like this. And 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Like that. Okay. Give it another mix. Let me put this over here. And then we're gonna add it to our baking dish. Could you hear my baby in the background? Yeah, she's so cute. Okay, now we're gonna sprinkle some more chocolate chips. Okay, so now we're just gonna take this and bake it for approximately 45 to 60 minutes, and the time, it will depend on your oven. So just first time that you make it, just keep an eye on it to see how long it takes exactly. I am playing with the settings of my oven because it's a new oven. This whole kitchen is new. We moved here and then we renovated it. So we have a new oven, so I'm still figuring it out what's the best setting to make this, because I find that sometimes it becomes too brown on the outside because it's a glass dish, but the middle is still a bit raw. So I want it to be perfectly cooked. So I lowered the temperature for today, and then I want to see if baking it for longer will make it more evenly. So we're just going to add this for 45 minutes now, but it might take up to an hour. And then I'm going to add a timer for 45 minutes. And that's it. That's how easy this recipe comes together. Like I said, I'm still playing with how I'm making these recipes for you guys. So if I have all the ingredients already set aside and then show you how to just make it, or if I have all the ingredients like this from my pantry and then do it as I go with you. So if you have a preference, let me know in the comments too, and I'll keep that in mind. Okay, I'll show you once it's out of the oven. Bye. So our oatmeal is ready, and this is what it looks like out of the oven. If you like it less crispy, you can remove it before. Mine baked for about 45 minutes. And tomorrow when I go to cut it, I will portion it in 6 servings. So I like to cut it when it's cold, just so that it doesn't crumble up. And if you enjoyed this recipe, I'd greatly appreciate if you can leave a like or consider subscribing to my channel so I can bring more recipes like this to you. Bye!